Former BBC presenter Huw Edwards was yesterday given a 6-month suspended prison sentence after pleading guilty to downloading indecent pictures and videos of children, including a boy as young as 7. Now, a lot of people are understandably disgusted with the verdict and think he's got off too lightly. So, Colleen, I mean, there's lots of oohs and ahs and, you know, when I said suspended sentence, what did you make of that when you saw that headline?
Do you know what? I was as shocked by his sentence as I was shocked when I found out what he'd done initially, because he was actually one of my favourite news presenters. He always felt like just one of us, and I watched everything he did, and I thought he was so professional. I was so shocked when it all came out. And then the sentence that he got yesterday, I was absolutely speechless about it, because I thought, well, if they can't use someone... And it was such a high-profile case, and I thought this is a perfect time now to make an example of this will not be tolerated at all. And he gets this... what message is that putting out to any child abuser or paedophile out? There's just no deterrent there. It's absolutely shocking.
Unfortunately, though, Janet, the judge in the case was acting within the parameters of the law. That is the
it's been
sentence.
Explained in great detail on television news last night and again this morning that the person that supplied the photographs to him received a 12-month suspended sentence, and that as the law stands now, Huw Edwards' sentence was not unexpected. And then there were the mitigating factors, that he pleaded guilty really quickly, that his mental health was unquestionably very, very shaky.
Which people don't seem to
well, I know. Now,
care about.
Well, I agree with everything Colleen has said. At the same time, it's this idea of making an example of someone. So what we've seen in the last few weeks is the government quickly changed the law so that the rioters, the people who went mad on our streets in August...
Or somebody put out a racist tweet.
Yes, were quickly dealt with, and some of them received custodial sentences for what previously would have been, you know, a slap on the wrist, a big fine, or perhaps a community service. So hundreds of them have received custodial sentences. So I'm weighing that against this, and I'm thinking, but at the end of the day, what would be gained by putting Huw Edwards in jail? First of all, he will be very,
justice for the victims.
Justice for the victims.
Justice for the victims, but he will be very vulnerable.
What about the I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm sorry. It's the word vulnerable. There are vulnerable children, 7 years old, being taken advantage of. That's like, he's an adult who a lot of people trusted. He had the nerve to stand up on the telly and talk about the Queen when she passed, and then you know you're doing that. You're living that double life. It's only because you got caught. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not helping the children. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Who can I just say, it will never go away for. They will be affected for the rest of their lives with all of this. And what I hated more than anything, even in that clip there, was the smugness of when he walked out of court. There wasn't even, I need to get in a car quick because I'm hated. He's just smug with it, and I'm not surprised now. I'm blown away by the law.
We need to look beyond this to the availability of pornography, the fact that the technology giants have done so little to control it and clamp down on it, that more and more people know how to access the dark web, and this kind of imagery is so freely available, and we seem to be losing the battle.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And it's just a huge problem. And a lot of it, as you said, is underground.
But do you think that locking up one person, annoying and upsetting those cases...
As a deterrent, yes.
As a deterrent.
Well, I beg to differ.
I think too much protection is given to predators.
When it's somebody who's so high profile, I think I agree with Colleen, the message it sends, when it's somebody so high profile, they've admitted it.
Yes.
You know, it was category... some of it, not all of it. Category A, that's children, 6 and 7 years old. And he knew that the person sending the images to him said, can I send these? Shall I send these to you? It's young ones. And he said, go on. So he didn't say no. So I think for somebody so high profile who's used his position as being somebody very much in the public eye, has, you know, groomed people on social media, sent money. I think, yes, he should have been made an example of. I appreciate they have a duty of care. They've talked about the state of his mental health. They have to look after him. However, I think it sends completely the wrong message that it's a suspended sentence.
But I don't think it will stop the trade in these images, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I don't think it will stop the trade, but it would be a start to say, if you do this,
And
you
you'll
will go to prison.
Yeah,
and I agree
100%.
with you then. You know, I think the social media platforms have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
And it's such, I mean, it's a huge, huge problem. The whole pornography industry, in my opinion, with young boys, I mean, it's a massive problem.
Well, banning phones in schools has got
Yeah.
to be mandatory within a year.
Anyway, that is the case at the moment. And, yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about it today, aren't they? So, of course, we have to.